Welcome to Bantu Life and Culture, where the mysteries are being revealed. Get your pen and paper because it is needful for you to take notes from here on. For thousands of years and throughout the scriptures, there are accounts of notable women. Yet for many years there has been ongoing debate in both church and society regarding the role of women, particularly concerning authority. What does Scripture teach on this, and what is Sonini NaNini's perspective on the roles of men and women in terms of authority? Does Scripture indicate that men should have authority over women, and in what context is this addressed? In Genesis 3:16 it says, "To the woman he said, I will greatly multiply thy sorrow and thy conception. In sorrow thou shalt bring forth children, and thy desire shall be to thy husband, and he shall rule over thee." This was said as punishment for the disobedience in the garden. I will greatly multiply thy conception, and in sorrow thou shalt bring forth children. In Numbers 30, we see that a vow made by a woman can be annulled or upheld by a man, her father if she lives with him, or her husband if she be married. Similarly, in Exodus 21:22 it says, "If men strive and hurt a woman with child so that her fruit depart from her, and yet no mischief follow, he shall be surely punished, as the woman's husband will lay upon him, and he shall pay as the judges determine." These verses suggest that the husband has authority over matters concerning his wife. While there are scriptures that speak to the authority of men over their wives, they do not imply that women are less valued by Sonini NaNini. Quite the opposite. Consider the following passages. Exodus 20:12. "Honor thy father and thy mother, that thy days may be long upon the land which Sonini NaNini giveth thee." Proverbs 31:10-31, which celebrates the worth of a virtuous woman. 1 Corinthians 11:11-12. In Sonini NaNini, however, woman is not independent of man, nor is man independent of woman. For as woman was made from man, in the same way man is born of woman, and it is Sonini NaNini who brings everything into existence. Ephesians 5:28-29. "So ought men to love their wives as their own bodies. He that loveth his wife loveth himself. For no man ever hated his own flesh, but nourisheth and cherisheth it, even as the Messiah does the believers." Today, many groups advocate for women's rights and equality in society, though the scriptures already affirm that women were created with equal worth to men. The scriptures do not endorse exploitation, abuse, or unrighteous treatment of women. See Deuteronomy 21:15-17, Deuteronomy 22:13-29, to mention a few. In marriage, consider these instructions. 1 Corinthians 7:3. "Let the husband render unto the wife due benevolence, and likewise also the wife unto the husband." 1 Corinthians 7:4. "The wife hath not power of her own body, but the husband. And likewise also the husband hath not power of his own body, but the wife." Sonini NaNini establishes headship as he desires. The question of authority is not one of inequality, but of divine order. Consider this example. If a hotel owner appoints a woman as CEO or general manager, would it be fair for anyone to claim discrimination against men? I don't think so. The owner has the right to choose whom they deem best for the role. After all, it's their organization. Similarly, a potter can make a vessel for one purpose and another for a different purpose from the same clay. Would you consider Sonini NaNini bias against man, because man can't bear children? Just as one cannot argue with the potter's decision, we should not question Sonini NaNini's authority. The authority of Sonini NaNini. Sonini NaNini's authority is absolute, and he establishes roles as he sees fit. He chose Moses to lead the children of Jacob and punished those who challenged Moses' authority. He appointed Aaron as high priest and warned that anyone attempting to perform Aaron's duties would be destroyed. Imagine if that were to happen today, how we would rebel against him for that. Likewise, Sonini NaNini chose the Levites for ministry, and any others attempting their role faced death. In the same way, Sonini NaNini appoints men to certain roles and instructs women on their place in relation to men. He is the creator, and as such, he sets order in his creation as he desires. Consider 1 Timothy 2:11-12. "Let the woman learn in silence with all subjection. But I suffer not a woman to teach, nor to usurp authority over the man, but to be in silence." And 1 Corinthians 14:34. "Let your women keep silence in the assembly, for it is not permitted unto them to speak, or in other words teach. But they are commanded to be under obedience, as also saith the law." Making reference to Numbers chapter 30 instructions. If we respect the order of man, why dispute Sonini NaNini's order? Today, many women teach and lead in churches. Yet is it consistent to disobey Sonini NaNini's instruction in the name of serving him? Should we be telling Sonini NaNini how we want to serve him, or should we be following his commands? True worship follows his guidelines, not our own preferences. In other structured settings, like Parliament, there are roles where some people speak and others remain silent and listen, such as reporters or some observers. If no one questions that arrangement, why question Sonini NaNini's instruction for his assembly? As the creator, Sonini NaNini has the authority to define roles in his organization. To worship Sonini NaNini in a manner contrary to his instructions is to risk destruction. Besides, he's not forcing anyone to comply or to sieve him. However, there will be consequences for obedience and disobedience. Consider a workplace where multiple people believe they are qualified for a particular position, but one person is chosen. If the others become resentful and cease to support that person, it will harm the organization. Sonini NaNini's order aims to prevent such chaos. Sonini NaNini has not shown bias against women. He has simply placed men in leadership roles within families and the congregation. Salvation is available to all equally, as Sonini NaNini judges us according to our works. A wife can be saved while her husband is not, or a female believer may be saved while her male pastor is not. Sonini NaNini is focused on our obedience to his commands. This reflection is not based on personal opinion or one's abilities. In fact, righteousness is about following Sonini NaNini's way, not our own. We should content in our role and should not seek authority where none has been given, for we know it would risk our standing with Sonini NaNini. Thanks for watching. It was a pleasure sharing with you. You may like, share, comment and subscribe. You can also watch the other videos.